Yeah.
Tight, there's a wall there. You don't have.
Hello,
Howdy.
how are you? Staying busy?
John, dude.
Yeah.
Sooner or later, we gotta talk about some park benches. Or some bus benches.
Oh, let me just, I know I have some, 3 of them for free.
Well, there you go.
I'm waiting to hear back from Team.
Okay,
They have 3 at the pole barn, what they call the pole barn,
okay.
that they bought, that they're not using anymore. And so I said, hey, so can we just have those? Then she said,
It was good.
but I can't make that decision. They were not very much.
So I was there to get kind of the historic.
Oh, I'm still learning how to carry this out. But they.
Different
Year,
things,
Okay.
the building.
so
you know,
he's just there for the school year.
National Register listing and all that.
So is he comfortable making those decisions? or-
Yeah, what it did, that's what-
You know,
That either be really good or
Exactly.
it's either be like, yeah, get rid of all the things. or-
Yeah, so,
So,
I've already made arrangements for a towing company to move them. So
Okay.
like if I have to just store them somewhere for temporary, I said, oh, yeah, I'll go there tomorrow. Like,
Okay,
I have 2,000 sitting at the United Way. Like,
that's good.
okay.
and so like they had recently
The one thing is we
buy,
have one down.
like buy a bus shelter and
She had
that's
this
way under budget. I want to do it. So, that
Because
was
the
free.
entrance from the front side is from the front, and then from the garage, at the back, you're one of ours.
Benches.
And I was trying to go to pee, yeah. I had to get in there with them, so I got look at the options, it's like, well, I think it's this.
Years, if they should.
Okay.
By that point, I hope to have ideas out there for new routes, with better service areas. And then once we kind of get back, we would love to have these starting to be set, maybe go by spring.
Okay. Once you get your route planned out,
Yeah.
I would be happy to either myself or staff help you plan out what the stop should be, make sure we got some immediate stops. And then we can figure out where you want the benches and what kind of acquisitions would be needed to, what kind of paperwork, whatever. My acquisition is on his list. So as soon as we're ready to go,
Okay.
we can get him involved with it.
Okay,
We can try to run.
okay, yeah, we're, we get lots of community input about not servicing the south side enough, and the problem of it is they want us to run longer hours and not listening drivers.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
we're hoping at making them just small tweaks on the route.
Happy to help within these parameters. that
Yeah.
we already have set forth.
Yeah,
Just acknowledge.
We don't need that, well, then I don't know what to do.
yes, yeah, but our big part is right now is that the one bus is always so busy because it contains the Walmart and the other route doesn't.
Gotcha.
So, and then seeing those express concerns because they have one of the largest international populations in the world this year. And
Okay.
so all these international students now need transportation, so they're coming in not rivals.
Right.
And they, sometimes they go by international village
She on a
every
car,
hour.
always pick me up, pick me
There's no
up.
reason why they can't have a bus, it's free.
I think the car.
So- We'll see how all that plays out.
You know, one of
Project coming up.
go into one thing, then they open it up. to
Okay.
another thing.
We're gonna be revamping North Spring, Broadway to,
You know,
Broadway, like, if we got anything there, if we want to make sure that I don't leave you a problem.
What are you gonna do?
That's pretty much a glorified maintenance project, but if we need to flatten the spot out or make a
I get it.
battle, stop.
Beforehand.
Yes,
Sure you
Yeah.
do it as we go instead of reworking something like this.
And you said that where?
It'll be North Spring from Broadway to Lexington. We're also working on South Spring from 74 south. So if there's any stops down there,
Okay.
to try to accommodate that for
Yes,
easier than it would be to do this.
here's those are first, and we went to Aqua. Yes. What's? Really?
Saw that on the news yesterday.
Good for them. I was kidding Rodney, HPA meeting. I said, Rodney, I thought you was gonna put in for that. He said, oh, no, he said, I didn't want no part of it. Oh, really? I did too. Yeah. Because I was like, because I told him, I said, I'm sitting there ranting Drew and Ryan about beating you up for the job. He said they could have had it.
Yeah.
That was about all I needed to know right there. If he didn't want it.
You that level with the pay and the
Yeah.
stress is a little higher than the pay. You say,
It's not commensurate, yeah.
that's really good with medical bills.
Also medication.
Heart attack. Start putting it away, because whenever you have your first heart attack, you don't think about retiring.
I think. Well, actually.
We have. Meetings.
I know Mandy, I think she's.
I literally opened it up right before I came in here just to kind of see what the format looked like. And I guess you sent the Excel file and a PDF of the same thing? Is that the way that formatted it, or did you literally do that all on your own?
The tip of the information.
Okay, that's how, okay.
Yeah,
I didn't know. I sit there and
we've
thought.
done it without.
Format for software. I hadn't seen any of them yet, right, because the first one.
So this group's
Okay.
okay.
If anybody has any concerns.
So I haven't really looked at the software, the Excel file, and PDF, and they both look.
All right, we're gonna go ahead and get started. We do not have a quorum, so we'll try to take care of what we can today. Let's start with introductions. We'll go around the room. We're gonna start with Marla.
Marla Mills, KLG Engineering, SEMPO staff.
Morning, everyone. I'm Jay Knutson, here representing Cape Girardeau County.
Kevin Neal with Lockmuller Group, sub-consultant with PDS on the regional trail connectivity center.
Jonathan Corbett with Planning Design Studio.
Adam Camp, Planning Design Studio.
Alex McElroy, SEMPO staff.
Ryan Schrimplin, City of Cape Girardeau.
Joe Killian, MoDOT.
Drew Christian, Seymour PC.
Jake Gerard, City of Cape.
Jenny Smith, Cape Girardeau County Transit Authority.
Tom Caldwell, IDOT.
Rose Moda.
Online, we have Mike Henderson and Betsy Tracy.
Okay, we don't have a formal agenda, so I don't think we need to adopt it. We did receive notes from the previous meeting. We did not have a form for that one either, so if anyone has any changes to those notes, if you could just get those to Marla. Let's make those changes. Okay, communications from the chairman, I have none. Are there any public comments regarding items not on the agenda? None, then we'll move into new and unfinished business. First up, we have the SEMPO Region Trail Connection Study.
Yeah, we have a presentation here. I can't see that part. Does anybody remember how to share your screen?
I think it's green. Yeah, I think that green button right there.
One participant may share.
I just click,
Oh, just click that. Yeah, there we go.
and then click on the PDF.
screen. All right, can everybody see that? That's online?
Show there.
Okay. So appreciate the opportunity to be back today. Main thing, purpose for this meeting is just to run through the logistics for the open house tonight, and hopefully all of you know about the meeting, but if you don't, it's going to be here in this room. It's an open house format between 4:30 and 6:30 with a presentation at 5 o'clock. The slides that you will see is what we'll be presenting during the presentation part, and then after the end of those slides, I've also got images in this presentation of the 6 boards that we'll have. So we'll have boards set up. We'll have a kind of registration table at the beginning set up. This will be set up in a classroom type of thing with, and then we'll project when we do the presentation, and also be a table set up with little refreshments or stuff that we'll get this afternoon. So again, the main purpose is just to give you guys a chance to see the presentation, provide any input, and we can make some changes on the PowerPoint, before this evening. The boards are already made for tonight, but I guess in theory we could, if there's something really we needed to change, we could redo it tomorrow for the Jackson meeting. So
We only take Sharpie amendments, though.
So again, in terms of the presentation, we'll just go through an overview of the team. And Alex, I'm assuming you could talk, if you're gonna be there, talk to just do the quick SEMPO overview.
Yeah.
Thing. And then we'll do a just really brief overview of the task and part of the project, what we've done so far, and then really get into some of the more details on the alignment options. When we were here last month, we talked about some of those different alignments. So since then, we've dug a little bit deeper into that, and so a lot of this information that you saw then is similar, but again, we'll have a little bit more to talk about, and then we're going to do something that's fun, and hopefully it'll work. But we have the ability, if it works, to do live polling as part of these meetings, and so we've got a few questions set up in there that we can get input on, and actually have the results like show up in the PowerPoint, which would be kind of fun. If that doesn't work, we have a backup. Yeah, so we've got paper copies too. So, and what it takes is that there's a QR code that will be on the screen. You use your phone and kind of scan that QR code. And so then it'll come up, and as the slide advances, the question comes up on the phone, you put in your input, and then it shows it on the screen. And again, if it works, it's great. If it doesn't, then we've got backup. So you never know if the technology will work. But that way it kind of makes it interactive a bit more. So, and if somebody doesn't have a phone, like I said, we've got the paper copies as backups. So we'll just go through the team, which you guys already know about. This is the slide that the information on SEMPO that Alex you'll talk to. The tasks, which you guys all already know about, so we'll just go through there. And then some of these GIS maps that we've shown you before, we'll kind of run through pretty quick, so we won't spend a lot of time on that. So we've got existing conditions, we've got the flood data, we've got population density, we've got the existing facilities like the trails, and then some of the alignments that were part of the LG study that was done in 2018. Some of the daily traffic information, which is pertinent to these different alignments. And then this one highlights some of the incidents in terms of crashes, fatalities, anything like that. and then destinations. So that's kind of a mapping that we'll have, that we'll talk about. And then you guys saw this a month ago. It's just, this is beginning of our analysis stage. So go through some of those tasks that we did. We'll talk about the two alignments, the north and the south, and then in the statistics in terms of comparing each one, how many crossings, how many types of crossings, parcels, the length, all that, the Google Earth elevation, scale thing, and then a couple weeks ago we came back down and looked at all of these crossings and took pictures. So I've highlighted a few of those here. So starting at the south end of the north alignment. So we'll kind of talk about some of the these spots that we identified and just what they look like. So part of that alignment exercise, we kind of looked at what side of the street it would be on. In this case, it would be on the side where the overhead power lines is, and you can see there's quite a bit of right-of-way space in there, especially on this north route. So that's it seemed like it would work out pretty well. The crossing at 55 is interesting. There's not a lot of room. So, one of the parts of, as we get into more details, is it possible to expand that? Yes. Do we need a separate structure? So we'll look at that as we kind of get into it more detail, but that's what it looks like. It's not clicking anymore. I think something. Yeah. So the other spot, the roundabout that's there is actually pretty nice. Most of the kind of pedestrian facilities are on the right side of the screen, but it looks like it's still feasible if we're on the right side of the street there for the alignment. And then the big intersection, that one again, we'll have to study a lot, and that's why we've got LG here too. Is what is the best way to kind of get through there? So we again looked at all of that, and then have some pros and cons developed for the north and south. So again, we'll go through those, and then jump into the south alignment. And so we've got the same kind of thing where we got pictures all along the way. So we'll talk about those. And again, try to go through these fairly quick. But you can see some of the crossings of these creeks are different, and would require if we want this alignment, rebuilding of that bridge, or having a separate structure for the bikes and pedestrians. This one's a newer one, but there's not that much right of way there. We can tap into. There's the crossing at 55. That bridge is probably a little straight than the other one. Again, not a lot of room to put a facilities within structure. So would it be possible to tack on to it, or would we need a separate structure there? We have to figure that out as we progress. And then the south one kind of links right into the Cape LaCroix. So that's the picture of where that comes in. And that one seems like it would be fairly reasonable to be able to get down to the existing trail in that spot. So don't think there's a lot of issues there. So we got a few pros and cons here, but then as we get deeper dive into these different alignments, we'll expand those pros and cons more. So here's where we get into the polling. So they'll have this on the screen. We also have paper copies of this that we'll put around the table so folks can easily access it. This polling isn't live now, so we can't do it, but there'll be, we usually like throw in a kind of a test question for fun. So the first one will be, what's your favorite Olympic sport? And so people will be able to choose that, and then it'll show. We put some random ones up there like breaking and skateboarding. I'm not sure why breaking is an Olympic sport now, but
Guess we'll find out.
we'll find out it's how popular it is. I don't know, maybe it is. So then we'll,
They got a break dancing.
so a map will come up on your screen, and so we thought it might be an interesting question just to put public on where they'd like to see it going. And a trailhead is a spot where there's parking and there's, potentially a restroom and there's signage and things like that. So you can actually, on your phone, you can click on the map and a little pin will come up. And so it'll show all the spots where folks think they'd like a trailhead and these routes. And then another question we want to ask is just, we gave you some options on highest priority regarding the trail alignment options, like what's most important to them. So is it ease of access to the trail, connections, security, safety, things like that. So folks will have to review those kind of options and then select one. So we'll see, which one ends up being highest priority for folks. And then last question is related to what types of amenities that they would like to see along the trail. So it's signage, lightings, again, security, the trailheads, the trees and shade and landscaping, and then, if there's rest areas and things like that. So those would be the kind of input opportunities. And we'll have a board that is set up for the kind of typical green dot exercise. So we'll have green dots there, and this part of the presentation will remind folks that if they haven't already, to use a green dot to select their preferred or their favorite alignment, whether it's north or south. So we've got a board for that, and then we printed out a paper copy for Jackson so that we can just kind of put that over the board and then allow folks to put their input at Jackson without having to peel off the green dots from the word that we used tonight. Also, the online survey is still out there, and I'm happy to report that since those little yard signs have gone out, we kind of went from like 6, we're up to I think 176 respondents now. So one of the things that we want to do in the meetings tonight and tomorrow is just to remind folks that that's still out there and we're still looking for input. So that's why that is up there. So I'd say, maybe we'll keep that survey, online survey open for maybe another 2 weeks after these meetings, and then close it down and start pulling the information out of there. So that'll be the end of the presentation. Try to get through the presentation in about 30 to 40 minutes. These are the boards that we've produced. So like I said, it'll be one on the just kind of general information, and that'll probably be the first board that we have up in line of 6 boards. This one just talks about the team and the tasks. So and again, with an open house, we'll have folks stationed at these boards just to be there, to answer any questions anybody has as they walk through. This is kind of just a summary of some of the discovery things. And you guys again saw all this in previous meetings, but just the fact that we have done the GIS data collection, and we've gone out and either rode our bikes or in Kevin's case, rollerbladed the entire Cape Lefroy Trail and got some good background information on that trail. And then this is kind of the summary of the root analysis, so it's kind of combining a lot of those pictures that we had in the presentation, but a few more that highlights basically all the crossings and the intersections that we have along there, and then some of the summary information on elevation change and things like that. So there'll be one for the south, and then the board, like I said, we're doing for the green dots. And so there's some description in those boxes saying, you know, if you prefer the north alignment, put green dots there. If you prefer the south alignment, put green dots. And then one by the south alignment. So that's it. So again, 6 boards, and those will be up the entire evening. We'll do a presentation, and then once that's over, we'll just kind of be back standing by the boards and answering any questions that the folks have. So that's our plan for tonight and tomorrow night. Any thoughts, questions, concerns? And
That roundabout
yeah.
picture in Jackson, I think that was on East Main Street. Doesn't Jackson have a TAP grant to install additional sidewalk?
Yeah, from that roundabout, back towards the center of town, all the way to Bellevue, which is the missing link. That's the only piece of East Main that doesn't have a sidewalk.
Heads up, Scott.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. So straight down the line. Yeah, on the north or the right side of this photograph, there'll be a new sidewalk, you know, within the year, within a year's time, all the way up the hill, over the hill and down to the existing sidewalk at Bellevue Street.
There's a park up there, right to the north.
Yeah, just half a mile to the north.
Yeah, we went up there just to see what you know, opportunities there would be for a connection, which I think definitely there would be. There's a little bit of a hill, but I think, you know, as you know, if it turns out that the north alignment is preferred, you know, making that connection to the park, I think would be something we definitely want to try to include in there. Nice little park.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's pretty long.
Yeah.
Disc golf.
Yeah. Okay, any other thoughts or?
We'll be in this room, so.
Yeah. And at Jackson will be at the Civic Center. Haven't seen that one yet, but
Newer and a little bit larger,
okay.
similar.
Yeah, the conference room.
So, like I said, we'll get some water and, you know, just some little snacky things to have for tonight. Yeah, just try to come out if you can and encourage all of your stakeholders, constituents, whatever, to come out too. I know Alex had put out information in a newsletter, so
Yes.
so that went out.
Yeah, we sent out our newsletter with our 123 subscribers. We did a press release and we did social media on Facebook and Twitter, and then the city of Cape did one on theirs. And I think Jackson, I know Rodney sent out to a lot of stakeholders about the meeting.
Good. Yeah, I mean, you never know how many people you're gonna get at meetings like this, but I think we've done as much as we can, so we'll just see what happens.
Yeah, well, it's always interesting to see who gets interested and shows up. Sometimes it's 3 people, sometimes it's 30, you never know.
Yeah. 30 would be great. Yeah. Like that. So. Thank you.
Excellent, thank you. Okay, next we've got the 2024-2027 Transportation Improvement Plan Amendment number 4. We won't be able to take formal action, but we're still gonna review it. If we're okay with it, it'll go on to.
Yeah, so following this meeting, as long as there are no comments that address, I'll be releasing it for public comment. For the public comment review period, and then asking the board for approval. The amendment comprised of 32 individual different projects, so it was a pretty big lift for us, given the fact that we're in transition right now with our TIP software. Within the 32 projects, there are 2 projects for the city of Jackson, city of Cape. Those are the 2 TAP grants that the cities have received. There's also 5 new projects added for MoDOT, and there's 25 projects that require fiscal adjustments. A larger amendment for our first one here. And included in your handouts are the project lists delineating each project and what changes are being made financially and what's being added. And on that. TAP projects were Jackson's Middle School out in front of Route D corridor, and then Cape Charles Boy Trail widening improvements.
Any comments? And now we'll go on to the board. for approval. Okay, next.
All right, we do have as a handout the July progress report from Lockmuir Group. Just as a quick update, we had canceled our August 1st oversight committee meeting. That was because they were finalizing the draft safety toolkit and they're working on the draft plan still currently. I have sent out and included in your packets a copy of the draft safety toolkit. They are asking for all comments to be received by next Friday, August 16th. So please, if you're interested, take a look at it and let me know if you have any comments. All comments can be sent to me and then I'll forward them on to our consultants. Our next oversight committee meeting will be September 5th. And during that meeting, we'll get an update on the draft plan and we'll begin to discuss the open house that we plan to hold in October and begin to coordinate advertisements and logistics for the open house. So as a quick recap, the next steps are by the end of September, we should have our draft plan. We'll then hold our community open house, which will be our 3rd open house for this project in October. And then one of the final work products will be delivery of the ArcGIS story map. That's the interactive story map that we're going to be able to link to SEMPO's website detailing our crash and serious injury incidents. Any questions on the safety action plan? Getting closer. Per our grant agreement, we'll need to have the plan completed by the end of this year. So by December 31st, 2024, we'll need to have the board approve the plan by the following month, the end of January 2025. And then we'll issue our final report to the Federal Highway by the end of March of 2025. Quicker than you think.
Let's see. All right, intersection studies.
Okay, so given our conversations at our last meeting where we kind of did a last call for any comments on the 621 Cherryville Road, the group had indicated that they'd like to entertain a formal presentation, preferably before the board and additional key stakeholders. So I've agreed to provide a presentation at our August 21st board meeting. I'd encourage folks to either give me contact information for individuals not on our TPC agenda list, and I'll make sure and invite them, and or feel free to invite them yourselves. It's a public meeting. Everybody's open and welcome to attend. So we'll provide that presentation at our board meeting this month. And then that should conclude that project for this year.
Very good. Tip tool implementation.
So we're kind of, we have stood up our live version of the tip tool. We're just not ready to really sprint with it yet. We were able to kind of piece together our first major tip amendment, working with older systems and now the newer system with, still needing to fine tune some of the imports that we've done with labeling and tagging different projects, making sure it all flows well within the environment that we have. So within a few months, we should be up live and really ready to showcase the new tool, but just not quite there yet.
What's this? Is this one more really?
And
Was that
This the
our
new tool?
project, yes, was that
Yeah,
generated
that's
from
off the new.
Eco Interactive?
Yeah.
the, Alex, the geospatial file I got for the projects, for the MoDOT projects, when I reviewed it, ended up missing some projects. So I requested another file, pointed out some of the things I thought we were missing. I got that yesterday. I was checking it this morning, but I am not done reviewing it. When I am sure that we have at least all of our MoDOT projects, I will share that so that you guys can implement that into the tool. I know it's been a kind of a key thing you've been waiting on, but rather you guys only have to import the stuff once and not duplicate it. Plus, that's a file I plan to be using for some of my own internal handling of MoDOT. So I'll get that to you.
Thank you. I appreciate your diligence on it.
Takes us to the origin and destination analytical.
All right, well, our representative from Placer AI that was on maternity leave has now left the company. So we were looking at potential August or September demo, but now it's looking like maybe September or October if we want an actual employee of Placer AI to take us through the capabilities of it.
Liz is interested in that.
We could make sure I
We're talking about that a little bit.
it would be a good handy tool for her. And the Cape Chamber and SEMO Ready also have licenses for it. And just as a reminder, again, the Regional Planning Commission is one of the gatekeepers of it, so we request information from them and then they'll generate the requested reports.
Ready for member reports? Let's kick off with the city of Cape Girardeau.
TTS specific projects, South Sprig, we have the preliminary plans done and reviewed. We're working on implementing the comments, and getting started on our final plans. So within the next few months, we hope to have those ready to bid out. If we can get that under contract and construction started by end of year, that would be the plan. We'll begin on Bertling after we get done with the design of Sprig. Lexington is underway. Nip Kelly Construction is doing that project. Between Sprig and Old Sprig, all the concrete work is complete. I don't know if it will be paved immediately or if they're gonna hold off a bit before they asphalt pave it. They're working at the intersection of Big Bend and Lexington, 177 in Lexington. So there's a detour in place, I believe, or there will be shortly. And they're going to get all those repairs done and then head west. VMD 6 is still under design. Hopefully I will get that this month. As far as maintenance projects goes, concrete street repair 2023. The main work is complete. They're working on punch list and then we'll get that closed out. The asphalt overlay for 23 work is complete. We're working on closing that one out. The concrete street 24 will go to city council on August 19th. Fronaberger is the apparent low bidder. That work will be Cape Rock, between Kings Highway and Perryville, and then Perryville from Lexington down to Sherwood. This year's project, we went from Cape Rock up to Sherwood on Perryville, so we'll complete that kind of long block between Lexington and Cape Rock. Our asphalt 24 is underway. Floppy Cement is working. They're in kind of the southeast corner of town by the river campus. All their concrete is underway on the 6 blocks. They have South Middle, South Frederick, and Jefferson Avenue. Once they get the concrete complete, they'll get back and they will asphalt overlay all that. Public Works is working on their CIST 24-25 project. Nip Kelly is also working on that one. They are working at Ritter and Forest Street. And then our grant projects, not too much has changed recently. 74 Minnesota Frontenberger is working. We're trying to close out the Kings Highway Crosswalk project. The Cape Rock Sideways are still under design with BFW. We're working on getting driveways and sidewalks to all lay out like they should. And then as someone mentioned earlier, the Cape LaCroix Trail project, that TAP project, Bowen is working on the preliminary design of that one. We've seen the general layout and plan. Now we're working through some floodplain and some acquisition. I think that's all we got at the moment. Thank you.
City of Cape Girardeau kicked off the TTF7 program. The TTF7 committee, it's our largest committee ever. They have 12 members. They had their kickoff meeting last month, and they've got another meeting next Wednesday. That is going to be a very public heavy process, as it has always been. In fact, this time around, they're actually going to solicit input from the public just to get project ideas. Normally, we just have the meeting after they've done their scoring and got their list together, then that's taken to the public in meetings. They have the Cape Cash process. We'll still have that. But this current committee wanted to get input up front with regard to just project ideas and things that they would like to see in TTF7. So the committee is going to work on that process, and then you'll learn about it through the various communication channels. So I encourage you to participate in that when that comes out. The goal is for the committee is to get a recommended list of projects and a budget to the city council no later than November, so that the council can get the list on the ballot, the language on the ballot, and have it ready for vote in next April. So, okay, City of Jackson.
Yeah, thanks, Ryan. First 2 projects we've touched on involving the MoDOT grants. That's the Jackson Middle School Crosswalk and Sidewalk Improvement Project. The contract with MoDOT has been signed, and the city is looking to pursue contracting with the consulting engineering firm to complete the project design. The second is East Main Street Sidewalk Improvement Project between the roundabout and Bellevue Street. Still waiting on environmental clearance before we can begin easement acquisition on 3 properties, I think. Everything else will fit in the right of way. The roundabout project at North High and Deerwood, that's a MoDOT cost share. I think staff is waiting the results of the right-of-way negotiations by MoDOT on that. We're coordinating some signage uptown, trying to make things safer for pedestrians. You may have saw the newspaper article. Trying to raise awareness of pedestrian crossings, crosswalks, but also coordinating that with a plan by the Uptown Jackson Revitalization Organization, who's going to be installing some wayfinding signs in that area. So there'll be a lot of signage improvements and changes coming to Uptown with both of those plans in action. Our concrete program for this year is done. And we're still working, the staff's working on preparing the asphalt bid documents. We can't do that until we get a design from one of our consulting engineers to incorporate an overlay in the Jackson Soccer Park off of Route D. So we're hoping that can get out to bid very, very soon. We're also waiting bridge design from our consulting engineer on the Sunset Hills Bridge that we'd like to get done as soon as Highway 61 through Jackson is back open again. Next Monday, the 12th, MoDOT and Frontenberger closing down, or Penzel closing down the entrance to the swimming pool as part of the Highway 61 project. We're going to be putting out our own news release on that today or tomorrow, just telling folks that they want to come to the pool or the softball field or use any of the park amenities in that area, that they can no longer get there from Highway 61. They'll have to come in from the west. And then finally, as you probably already saw in the newspaper, we'll have a fresh face at the board of directors meeting probably in October, when our new city administrator in Jackson takes office. His name is Matt Winters, and he's from Poplar Bluff. He's currently the city manager there. I think his first day is the 23rd of September. Jim Roach's last day before he retires is the Friday before, September 20th. So we wish Jim well, and we welcome Matt to Jackson, and we'll get him on board with SEMPO. That's all I have. Thank you.
Thank you, Rodney.
I'll be interested to see what you guys come up with as far as pedestrian safety downtown. I was just thinking, because Cape had similar issues, especially with Broadway, and they had tried a few different measures with mixed results.
Yeah. Our public works director did a presentation to the mayor and the board in Monday's meeting. I'll see if I can forward that to you. It's based on the city of Springfield's successful plan, pedestrian crossing plan. I forgot the name of it. But I can have Janet send that to you.
Yeah.
And also, if you have info on the wayfinding too, and use that around.
But I don't know that Springfield yields. I'll have to check. I don't know.
Did that include a public education piece? Just a general.
No, there's infrastructure and education. Yeah.
Cape County, Jay?
Not a lot, just following up on the trail project. And Jake, I don't know if, I talked to the commissioners and they indicated they were moving forward on connecting the Walden Park trailhead piece of the trail to Melania's playground on the other side of the park there. I didn't know if that was public knowledge or if that was being looked at in the whole scheme of the regional trail plan, and whether that piece changed anything or added additional connectivity or not. That's effectively the east side of Cape County Park to the west side, to the interstate. I mean, just short of the interstate.
I don't know if that was part of the tax grant. I know the county had gotten a tax grant for some sidewalk work in the parks. I can't remember the alignments that they were funded for.
Yeah.
That's good to know though, that they're connected to that.
CTA.
Nothing really new to report. We had our first kickoff meeting with the Thriving Communities grant that we were awarded here a few months ago. So there'll be more to follow in the upcoming meetings with that. A trip to Washington, DC. We were one of 20 communities that were awarded the grant. So it'll be in project with Cape Girardeau, as well as ourselves plus United Way.
Thank you. Takes us down to Seymour RPC.
I don't think we have anything we haven't already touched on.
You guys have a TAC meeting coming up?
No, we just had our TAC meeting a week or two ago, which you weren't able to get on because the whole city of Perryville lost. Just in time for
Probably
our
what I was thinking you were about to do for.
board and TAC meeting, yeah, so it was old fashioned in person only.
Kind of refreshing, aren't they?
It wasn't too bad. We managed to get a quorum even without Zoom, so
That's good. You had food.
we did that. Always helps you.
Okay, I think we're to MoDOT. Who wants to start?
I'll go ahead and go first. So last month, on the 10th, the Highway Commission approved the STIP, the new 25 through 29 STIP. I have a copy here if anybody would like to look at it. It's also available online on our website, modot.org. There's an interactive portion to that website where you can actually go in and kind of zoom in and look at different projects and see the different years and things, get some information about projects. We just finished up our pavement ratings for the year on all the majors and then half of the minors in the district. We're starting to split the minors half one year, the other half the following year. And we're starting work on our asset management plan, so that will be getting started. That is due, I think, in October, the final version of it. We did have, last month, we had our high priority unfunded needs meeting at SEMO RPC on the 18th, I think the 18th.
Something like that.
Something like that. Anyways, we had that, and we had 6 public members show up, including Rodney, and Representative Voss showed up. Was it the 25th? Just off by a week. And then we had the Highway Commission is meeting today in Poplar Bluff, or already met this morning at the Ten and Fine Arts Center. So it's always nice to have the Highway Commission come down and visit the district. They try to get out to each district each year and kind of get a local flavor of what's going on and just get a chance to talk to some people. So in light of some of the recent funding that's been made available for US 67/future I-57 corridor, south of Poplar Bluff, that's kind of a big thing going there. And I think that is it.
I just have a couple call for projects. They just announced the TEAP, which is the Traffic Engineering Assistance Program, call for projects. It opened on August 1st. Applications are due September 13th. And so I don't know if you guys are interested in that. There's only $120,000 available statewide, so it'd be, they're thinking one application per district maybe or something, but you know.
You know, I think half is still 12,000.
Yes, yep, 80/20. So. And then BRO call starts October 1st and goes through November 12th. So that's coming up. That's all I have.
What were the BRO dates again?
I believe it's October 1st and November 12th. I know the October 1st, I get the end date sometimes, but if you have any questions, let me know.
Chris, you there? There he is. You got any updates?
Can you hear me?
Yes.
I don't know if I have any that hasn't already been touched on, so that's one benefit of going last. But I'll try not to be too repetitive, but the work on Route 61, I'm sure Rodney touched on this a little bit, but Frontenberg's pretty much finished up most of the concrete pavement on that project, and they've set bridge beams, and they're kind of getting ready for a bridge deck pour in the near future. And as Rodney mentioned, we will be closing the city park entrance on August 12th. We're doing that in order to raise the road up so that we can tie the city park entrance in with the new profile of the new roadway going into that bridge. That'll be closed until October 2nd. The Route K roundabout project that we have completed most of the widening and entrance work. Traffic is currently shifted to the east as the contractors perform work in the center of the roundabout and on the west side of Route 25. Route W paving project that is anticipated to start later this month. The paving will take place from 177 to the Lexington roundabout. The roundabout work, the millfill work through there will be completed at night. It should take less than a week to do that work at the roundabout itself. Did get an update from the Chester River Bridge, so they're pretty excited that the water has finally come down and they're able to work on the Center River Foundation and the Illinois Foundation. They're currently dewatering both of those so they can kind of prep for starting to pour the foundations on both of those footings. And then about 1/3 of the work is completed on the fill side, on the Missouri side, where they're tying that new roadway alignment in. And then the Missouri tower, the tower that's made the most progress, they're at the point where they're having to switch cranes. They've done everything they can do with the current crane that currently sits on the ground. So they're going to have a crane that's actually attached to the tower itself to finish the rest of that work. We do have a possible public meeting coming up for Exit 93 at the end of this month on August 27th to discuss the existing project that we have in the STIP. So we're going to be replacing or reconfiguring the intersection there at Silver. It's not popping in my head right now, but Silver Springs, I think it is. But there's going to be a dual lane roundabout going in there, as well as some rehab work on the existing flyover bridge that goes southbound to I-55, and then rehabbing the northbound bridge over railroad tracks, and then I think 74 there. But the future for that project, we'd met, I think it was a couple years ago, and had a public meeting to talk about several different alternatives. At the last public meeting, we selected the dog bone as the preferred alternate for that project. And we're going to talk a little bit to the point that, the existing project that's reconfiguring the intersection and redoing the bridge can still be incorporated in any future phases should we get the funding to move something into the STIP. So be on the lookout for more information on the times and the exact date for that. There's some conferences available right now. If you've never attended the Mink conference, I actually went to that last year. It's Missouri, Iowa, Nebraska, and Kansas, all of their state agencies, local road departments that have a vested interest in getting together and talking about their practices and the way they administer projects and even apply for funding for federal discretionary grants and those sort of things. It was only a 2-day conference, and overall, I thought it was pretty good to at least experience at least one point in time. But that is September 25th through the 26th. It's only $80 per person, and there is a dinner included with that. So if you're interested in that, that's in St. Joseph, Missouri. And registration for the 2024 Missouri Highway Safety and Traffic Conference is now open. If you're interested in that, the registration is over. The deadline to apply for that or register for that is August 23rd. And I don't have the date here, but that I think that's in September of this year. And that's all I got.
Hey, Chris, this is Jay Knudsen. To you and your MoDOT colleagues in the city of Cape, I think I saw where plans are moving forward for the Rex Russ Memorial at that Lexington roundabout.
Yes.
I had a business approach me about the possibility of taking over the landscaping of that. I think, if I'm not mistaken, the university had it initially, and it's really gone to hell. And I'm looking forward to that memorial really sprucing that up. But does your current proposal include improving the landscaping of it also, or becoming something maintenance free?
Yes.
And so you got it?
I can get whoever you're interested in touch with the group that is doing.
So you could use some additional funding?
I can put you in touch and they could work that out if they need assistance with it.
Okay, that'd be great. You could do that, Jake. That'd be great.
Yes, sir.
Because they're really, I think, interested in going to another level with the landscaping around it. And that would really be a terrific improvement to that roundabout.
The plan at this time is more of a hardscape. But if there was talks or if they could work something out, that I think that would still be on the table as long as it meets MoDOT's regulations on what kind of landscaping can go in.
Sure, it's great. You got my email. Why don't you shoot me that, Jake? Thank you.
Yes, sir.
Is that it for MoDOT? Takes us to IDOT, Tom.
On your STIP, well, are the various MPOs tips physically in your STIP?
Oh, they're incorporated by reference.
That's okay, good. That's good to hear, because that's what ours are. And we had this debate with somewhat with FTA Region 5 out of Chicago in regards to what was physically in the various surrounding states STIP. They were indicating that they wanted to see the projects from the MBOs actually in the STIP versus by reference. Well, it's good to hear.
Well, we have a few like the Deerwood Roundabout on North High Street and Deerwood and Jackson. That one, because it was a cost share project, is, anyway, we set it up as a payment project where they're basically administering it. We're making a payment to them. So it's listed in the payment portion of our STIP. But it will actually show up on the list and has a MoDOT job number, but it is being administered by them, so we're just doing a payment on that. So that one does show up, but I don't think that Minnesota Avenue 74 did, or the Kings Highway. I don't think, most of them don't, but so yeah, we just incorporate by reference.
Does that give you the Missouri doesn't do it argument?
Yes. Yes. Hey, Betsy, is it Iowa that actually puts the MPOs projects in the STIP?
I think they have an E-stip there, probably.
Because they don't have that project from start to finish program sort.
Yeah, I still think that the local entities populate it, but that there's this, I believe they have a single document.
I have nothing else.
That it for IDOT?
Mhm.
Okay, thank you, Tom. FHWA, I think Mike. Just Betsy, I guess. Betsy, you ready?
Yeah, I don't have any formal things today unless anybody has any questions about anything.
Yeah, no one.
Thank you.
Thank you, Betsy. All right, staff report.
Yeah, the only thing I have is, I've started work on our request for proposals for our metropolitan transportation plan. And I am gonna need a subcommittee that would be willing to help me review the RFP, give it their approval, and then help rank the proposals that come in. So that would be our first subcommittee for MTP. Typically, we then, after we've selected and the planning commission has recommended and the board approves a preferred consultant, that's when we expand our plan development committee into a broader group. But just for the RFP development scoring, we'll need between 3 or 4 individuals that assist with that. So if you have interest, please let me know. At our next meeting, I should have a draft ready. And I typically only share it with our subcommittee. But certainly members that are interested, can take a look at it. We try to keep it somewhat smaller groups during the RFP process simply because our meetings are open and potential consultants that may want to issue proposals don't need to be privy to the development of RFP prior to the issuance of it. That and please encourage folks to attend our open houses today and tomorrow, and or if they can't attend, consider steering them to one of our public service. That's all I got.
Any other business or communications today? No, we're adjourned.
What's your construction problem?
I'm gonna do the new NPO in Paducah, and they've had their transit system is all what they call wave. What's it called? Wave? It's, they don't have even pullovers, curb outs.
Really?
It's purely waving down, at this point. And that's their first study as an NPO is a regional transit study to try to get
102, right?
updated, I guess. But,
I'd be curious what their insurance thinks of that. I could see that causing a whole lot more accidents.
So this kind of hailing like a cat, like a New
Yeah,
York City.
Yeah.
Yep.
That doesn't seem
Safe?
safe.
Yeah, but
Definitely depend on the roadway.
Bus makes frequent.
Unexpected.
yeah.
Don't stop. Yeah.
That's outside the city limits, so we would be remaining.
We know that explains why I couldn't get onto the TAC meeting. The internet
Yes,
thing,
yeah.
yeah, but it was one of those things that I had like 30 minutes, so it was like, can I make it to Cape and Perryville in 30 minutes? Obeying the speed limit? No. So.
Yeah, we, some AT&T contractor or charter contractor, fiber somewhere, and there's every customer in the city